Welcome to Epicenter, the hub of innovation in the heart of Helsinki, where ideas come to life and creativity thrives, where innovation meets community. Get ready to learn, network, and make an impact. Let's go.
All right, let's begin. Welcome back. We've made it through. This is a final session of our summit before we go get to boogie down in the biggest rave in Helsinki. I just walked into our space and I was kind of blown away. And I have pretty high expectations or standards. So it's going to be pretty amazing. I hope that you're all ready for that. Sustainable products are fundamentally transforming markets around the globe, shifting industries and consumers' behaviors toward more environmentally responsible practices. As the demand for greener alternatives surges, businesses across sectors from fashion to technology are innovating to develop products that minimize environmental footprints while maximizing efficiency and appeal. This revolution is not just about reducing harm, it's about creating a new paradigm where an economic growth and sustainability are interlinked, enabling companies to tap into new markets, and consumer bases is eager for solutions that align with the values of environmental stewardship and social responsibility. As this trend accelerates, sustainable products are setting the new standard of sustainable practices across all facets of production and consumption. That was pretty wordy, but you get the gist there, right? So today, to guide us through this revolution is the communications manager at Paptic, and is responsible for the company's marketing and communications. Paptic is an innovation and growth company of sustainable and circular packaging materials focused on replacing fossil plastics in retail and flexible packaging applications. Before joining Paptic in 2020, she gained extensive marketing and communication experiences in the fiber-based materials industry over the course of 2 decades. Yes. So who can we think of more perfect than to speak? So please welcome to the stage Reetta, who's the communications manager at Paptic.
Thank you, Joey. All righty.
This is for you.
Oh, thank you. The thing is that in middle edge you can't see. Yeah. All right. So, happy to be here. I hope you've had an interesting afternoon. As Joey said, my name is Reetta Södervik and I come from Paptic. How many of you have heard of Paptic? Okay, 4 out of 25. Pretty good. Glad that you are here who doesn't know anything about Paptic. But here we are. And today we're going to talk about sustainability in the product development. I have a long history in packaging industry and as Joey said, wood fiber-based industry. So bear that in mind. Examples come from that market. So what then drives us to develop those sustainable products? I think the obvious ones are, like I said, resource scarcity, climate change, plastic waste problem, biodiversity loss. But then I think each and every one of us as consumers, we are also expecting more sustainable solutions, alternatives from the brands. And that again drives the brands to find and offer us sustainable alternatives. Why I chose the plastic waste challenge here is because that's the driver for Paptic. We are replacing plastic in flexible packaging with sustainable, recyclable and renewable alternative. You can see the figures here. It's difficult even to imagine what these mean. 8 million tons of plastic waste to oceans each year, only to the oceans, means that we are approximately 8 million people in the world. We would throw, every one of us, each day of the year, 1 plastic bag, these fruit bags, to the nature. So you would do it every day, throw the bag to the nature. That's the situation with the global plastic waste problem. The challenge with the plastic is also that the recycling system is still under development. We are in Finland, so here, for example, we know that the plastic bottles, they cycle extremely well. But there are so many types of plastics. Each of them, the types, should be treated differently. As you know, I come from a company that produces wood fiber-based materials. So on that side, we think the recycling rate in Europe is over 80%. So after saying that, still there's a place for plastic in the packaging world. It got functionalities that is very difficult to achieve and gain with fiber-based materials. But as said, let's use plastic there where it's necessary and needed, and in the other solutions, yet let's use the fiber-based materials. And maybe this is something that is maybe a bit even more eye-opening. If we don't act now, in 2050, there will be more plastic in the oceans than fishes. Good. Now we got the idea. That's the environmental challenge. Then we consumers, we are then asking for sustainable alternatives. We are looking for those. Our consumer behavior has changed. We are consuming less. At least I can say that I consume less than 10 years ago. We try to find products that are from sustainable sources or produced from sustainable materials. More durable, reusable, maybe easy to even repair. Choosing renewable energy for our housing, for example. So there are these choices that we make every day, and it's changing also our behavior. We recycle actively. It's easy in Finland. It's not the same thing in all parts of the world, but here we can be the front runners. And anyways, we try to reduce the waste. The research show that the people are willing to pay more for sustainable alternatives. But how much and for which products? We are still trying to figure out that. And of course, people say that they are willing to pay. But when you are making the buying decision, is that how you then act? Oh. And yeah, how can we then behave or live the sustainable lifestyle? We need that the brands offer us that possibility and opportunity. They need to provide us sustainable alternatives in their selection and offering. During the past years, there have been some greenwashing. So the brands have promised a bit more with the sustainability promises. So now people and the industry and the market is really demanding and from the brands really transparency and fact-based communications in sustainability so that they are trustworthy. Well, the global brands then, they need to serve us with those sustainable alternatives. They have set ambitious targets in sustainability. And quite often, those are linked to climate change mitigation, reducing the use of plastics, or then focus on finding renewable or recyclable materials to replace something when in their production, some other material. For example, just an example of that, like Apple has this sustainability target for 2030 that all of their production lines are carbon neutral. That's the kind of like the top brands, what they have in their targets. Then there are these common goals that drive brands in this sustainability work. The most well-known, and where pretty much all bigger brands have bounded or linked their sustainability goals, is this UN Sustainable Development Goals. They are altogether 17. Then the companies find the ones which then they are able to contribute the most. We've done the same at Paptic. We are dealing with large brands, so in a way, we need to communicate in the same level with them. We got 9, if I recall it right. And then to make it, politicians has also noticed this sustainability challenges that we have, or environmental challenges. Countries have their own targets for it, but then there are these regulations that drive the development of different industries to the circular economy direction. And I took an example from this packaging industry. There you can see that there's this packaging and packaging-based regulation. It's been in process for, I'd say, 2 years now, and it's going to be coming out in about, I'd say, a year probably still. There's been a lot of discussion. What does it include? What does it exclude? We are following it very carefully. We are producing the material for the packaging. Just to remember that we are only the material producer. We are not producing the packaging. But for us, it was really important that there is the recyclability. That is core of our business. All our materials are recyclable because we think that the material should be kept in the loop as long as possible. But as you can see, 2030, all the packaging should be either reusable or recyclable. And the really good addition here is, but in economically feasible manner. Let's not forget that still companies are making business. Well, then if we think of the product design, this probably varies a bit between the industries, but keeping the circularity in mind, we should, like when we start developing products, we should always think the entire life cycle. From the beginning, what raw materials do we include in? How do we produce it? What kind of energy do we use it? Where do we use the, in our case, material? How it will be further developed? In our world, we talk about converting. So we produce the material, and then the converters convert the material, for example, into a packaging. But when we start the product design or product development, already before we have anything, we have decided that in the end of the life cycle of this product, it will be recyclable. And we keep that in mind for the whole development process, that when, in the end, it would be so that the fibers from Paptic material could be used 7 times again to produce other packaging materials, for example, cardboard. But here is important to think also this, like I said, what kind of energy we are using, who are our partners, and so on and so on, so that we discuss with the people who have the same ambitious, environmentally sustainable targets. It's not us who will alone solve these environmental challenges we have in this world. We need to do things together. There are these startups, there are growth companies, there are the multinationals, all types of companies. We are all working to the same direction to make sure that this globe will be saved. Examples here, well, Paptic. Paptic is a bit different kind of startup. Our material was developed to respond to a demand from the market. So and we are a drop-in solution actually. So we are producing our material on existing paper lines, and it's converted on existing packaging lines. Then there's like examples from Finland using wood fibers in an innovative like Voumi. They are there in the area outside. Spinnova making sustainable textile fibers. I also put there some of the giants from our industry. They are doing the development work. They are innovating. They are making a nanocellulose. It's going to be it's a long process to develop it. It takes time. It might take new facilities. So development work can be really short term or then take years. And then there's needed systemic changes and so on. Our consumer behaviors probably changes during these years. But there's a lot to do, and luckily we are all in the same boat, going to the same direction. And now we get to the Paptic, which is an excellent example of a company operating kind of like following the circular economy principles. What makes us then unique? Paper is not like the conventional material here. We are kind of like the new innovation here. We are flexible, which is not that the packaging papers are, so we can really wrap around the different shapes of the packaging. We replace the plastic film, so the thin films, which are in risk to end up in the nature. Single plastic use is probably the worst of all, if I can say so, from the wood fiber-based industry. But there's the risk that it ends up in the nature and it's difficult to recycle. As said, we are a drop-in solution, so no need to invest in the iron in converting Paptic material. No need to invest in the production of Paptic material. Those of you who are familiar with the paper industry, you know that there's a reduction in the demand in many papers. We are there to, you can produce us, not on all machines, like I can tell that newspaper machine is totally different type of machine for producing something, just a specific packaging material. But there's a lot of capacity and the capacity available. And what makes us also in a way unique and reshaping this material production industry is that we don't have our own production units. We use contract manufacturing, which then means we can scale up easily. And on the other hand, the ones who are our producers, if they are lacking for capacity, now they have a new solution to run the machines efficiently. I probably said already about genuine sustainable materials. So, all the fibers that we use, they are from sustainably managed forests, which means that we can track the origin, and then they are from sustainably managed forests. For example, FSC. Material-wise, in many cases, one could think that you could use paper in these packaging where Paptic is not used. But the advantage with Paptic is that you can choose the lighter weight material, which means then less resources used. It means savings, for example, in logistic costs, because the package is lighter. And recyclability, it's with paperboards. As we know, as I already said, that the recycling rate and the recycling system is the most developed one in the world. Examples, I'm checking the time. I can few examples like where we have actually reshaped the packaging, like in action. first here is like this case is from UK. There's like do-it-yourself tools. Before Paptic, it was packed in cardboard and plastic. That was already tricky for a consumer to recycle. Now it's easy. Goes to the one bin. The design is much simpler, which means also less material all in all. Then H&M COS T-shirts. Normally they are packed in this really thin plastic bag, which is called polybag. Now it is packed in a polybag made of Paptic, garment packaging, as we call it, as it is not polybag. Then we have display covers. Normally, it's in plastic, and then you have the cardboard there. How to recycle it? One to the one stream, other to the other stream. As said, in Finland, we are A-class students, so we do it. But now it's easy for the consumer to put them all in the same trash bin or recycling stream. And the uniqueness of a material is that it's really soft. It looks like a paper there, but the surface is really soft and it doesn't scratch. It doesn't scratch the screens. It doesn't scratch your belt. It's really soft and gentle to the sensitive surfaces. This is where it all started, grocery bags. How many of you go to Stockmann or Sokos? Then you know Paptic. Bags in Sokos and Stockmann are made of Paptic. So next time, take a careful look. What does it mean? You can fold it. I don't know if you have realized it, but you can fold it easily because it's so much flexible and it's very durable compared to the craft paper bags, like the normal bags. And the thing is that if it gets moist, it will return in its shape. One good thing is that there's also, like with the vegetable packaging, there's also our material is a drop-in solution. And the extra positive thing of it was that even we didn't know it at that time, that actually the shelf-life time of the onions extended. The material is breathable, but still drops the light, so doesn't let the light come through. Some figures is that founded 2015, VTT spin-off. Industrial production started 2018. 3 production lines in Europe. Material delivered to, this is a global thing, so we've delivered it to over 50 countries. We have 47 employees, I think 4 recruitments just ongoing, so we're gonna hit the 50 here also. 11 million revenue reach on 2022, so not anymore that small company. But this is where we are now. But we're gonna further develop our products, we're gonna develop our manufacturing, we develop our manufacturing techniques, we're gonna help the global companies to change from plastic to Paptic, and it means that by 2030, 250,000 tons of plastic is replaced with Paptic. That was all.
Let's keep it going. We have time for one question. I'm going to be selfish and take it.
All right, you're welcome.
Sorry about that. So I want to, considering the intricate balance between cost, consumer acceptance, and sustainability, how do you envision overcoming the economic challenges that companies often face when initially integrating sustainable practices?
Really tricky question. I hope and wish that soon the sustainability is in a way the standard. So it's not the extra there. But well, in our case, as it's we kind of develop and design everything sustainably, so it's not gonna extra for us. But of course, if you need to change, for example, production facilities or something like that, then of course it's extra. And it's going to be challenging for some. And it's needed still.
Do you envision a world where everyone has moved toward sustainable practices?
Well, not in my lifetime, but but we need to go that direction. It was last week when we extended it already in Finland. This, what is the day when kind of like we have used already all the resources for the year. So we need to do something. But luckily, I'm in a company where it's like sustainability is in the heart of everything what we do, and circular economy. So it's really like driving our innovations, driving the way we work, driving all our passion to replace the plastics.
Awesome. Let's give a huge round of applause. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, we did it. We made it through 4 sessions. Equally impressive, of course. So please give a huge round of applause to Rieta one more time. So throughout the day, we've listened to talks on how creativity and innovation can fuel growth, the recruitment and retail revolutions, and now how sustainable products are fundamentally transforming markets. I hope that you've enjoyed all of the discussions, the brain stretching sessions that we've had, and the emerging tech on display here all day at Epicenter. And as I mentioned at the start of the day, we're a community. We want to bring people together to share ideas, to network, and to grow. And a huge part of that is network. Yeah? Get where I'm going? Yeah? Okay, so I want to thank all of our speakers. So, only one is in the room right now, but the rest are still here, so you'll be able to grab them. But the fun part starts in exactly 4 minutes. No worries. So it starts at exactly 4 minutes when we open the doors to our lounge, to the coolest freaking tech revolution that you've ever experienced. So give yourselves a huge round of applause. When the doors open, get ready to step into a different world and let's have fun today. Thank you all so much. Okay.